let me start with saying welcome again. Welcome everyone. So glad you are here. Welcome Daniel Sake signing in all the way from Ghana. Welcome Femi, signing all the way from Lagos, Nigeria here. And also to my colleague Samson, welcome too. And so I say welcome. So glad you are here. Please feel free to do your introductions. Femi has done her introduction. Even Daniel has done his introduction. Now, this is me. For Daniel that may be meeting me for the first time, so I will just talk about this. For those that have been coming on the webinar, I don't talk about it. So my name is Sandra Iheanacho, aka The Oracle. I'm also known as a Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. I'm the CEO of Embrand Consulting Limited. I'm the seventh leader. Embrand Consulting Limited is a human capital development organization that specializes in just two things. We specialize in L&D and human resource consulting. In the L&D space, we specialize in three things, which is training, coaching, and mentoring. My colleague Samson will drop on the chat box our website. You can also go and visit our website. I'm an ex-banker. I started my banking career with Citizens International Bank in Lagos, Nigeria, in far back as 1999. I'm a mother of 5 children. I'm an IFC Global Master Trainer. IFC is the International Finance Corporation. So I work with IFC to certify trainers. I'm also an LPI certified assessor. I'm going to edit that. I don't have that there. LPI, I'm very, very sorry. It was a slip. So LPI is the Learning Performance Institute in the UK. So I've been certified as an assessor to certify other trainers through the Train the Trainer program in collaboration with IFC. And so we certify trainers globally. I'm also in Lagos, Nigeria here. I'm also a resource person with the Lagos Business School. I'm a certified transformational coach. I'm a certified team and group coach. There are other things that are not here. That's why I need to edit this profile. I've been made the transfer enabler for Africa by the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness in Austria. And I'm also known as a Nigerian first certified transfer designer. Okay, that's there. So this is a bit about me. I've been a teacher, trainer, whichever you call it, for the past 26 years, both formally and informally. And I say that the moment you stop learning, you start dying. And that's why those are other certifications I hope to accomplish. I'm already working with Accelerated Learning Institute, which is the Center for Accelerated Learning in Chicago with Tom. So these are some of the things. This is just a bit about me. And so let's move forward now. The 5 critical success factors we're talking about. You agree with me that training transfer effectiveness does not happen in isolation. In case you don't know what training transfer effectiveness is, I cannot explain that in this webinar because that was one we spoke about and talked about. So I will encourage you, go back to our YouTube, watch the videos. That would help you and that will guide you. However, because of Emmanuel has joined in. Emmanuel, welcome. I'm happy to see you, Ima. Ima has joined in. You're welcome, Ima. And because of Ima and because of Daniel, let me just quickly tell you what training transfer effectiveness is. It has to do with, in a very short explanation, when you as employees go for training and you come back, you don't apply what you've learned. Training is lost. That's what we call training scrap. So training transfer effectiveness is the application consistent with the effectiveness, is the consistent application of all that the employees have learned in the training space in the business. That's just what training transfer effectiveness is. If you remove the effectiveness, it will not be consistent again. It will not be sustained. So it has to be there for the sustainability. So training transfer effectiveness is the ability for employees to consistently and sustainably apply all they learned on the training in their job, in the workplace. That's what it is. So going ahead, I hope this helps you to be able to flow along with us. So training transfer effective does not happen in isolation. No. It is influenced by those critical factors I talked about, those 5 organizational critical factors, which determines would employees successfully apply what they learn. These factors determine would they really apply what they learn. And now it says, so without this right support structure, and what are these factors? We're going to see it. Let me not also jump the gun. I'm going to talk about it in the next slide. Without the right support structures, Without workplace conditions, without leadership involvement, even the most well-designed training, even a training you go to Harvard Business School, you go to LSE, Lagos, London School of Economics, wherever you go for those training, if there are no support structures, no right workplace conditions, no leadership involvement, even the most well-designed training will fail. It will not drive measurable performance improvement. Okay. So what are these 5 critical success factors we are talking about? 1 is employee. We dealt with that last week, so we'll not be talking about that again. The next one is the process, the line manager, the workplace, and the trainer, either the in-house trainer, that's internal trainer, or the external trainer. So these are the 5 critical organizational factors that impact performance. Now, we've talked about employee. So today we are talking about process. Next week we'll talk about the line manager until we finish it. So now let's go straight into process. What is process talking about? What is process? You can see I love acronyms. WPS there means workflows, procedures, and systems. So what do we mean by process? So process is seen as a situation or an aligning of workflows, procedures, and systems to drive performance. I'll take that again. So process, what does process mean? I'm sure you have a process in your organization, your various organizations. So process is the alignment of your workflows, your procedures, and your systems to drive performance. That's exactly what process is. So we are referring to the workflows, the procedures, and systems that guide you as an organization, that guide your work in the organization, that guide how you do the work, how the work is done in the organization. That is basically what process is. Now let's look at each of them. What is workflow? What is what is workflow? What is the procedures? And what is the system? So those are the things we're going to look at now. What is workflow? So workflow has to do with the step-by-step sequence of how you do your tasks, how the tasks are required to. For instance, you want to complete an activity in your business. If, for instance, maybe for people that want to in requisition, you want to request something from your admin. What are the steps? What are the things you need to do? Maybe you have to get a form, fill the form online, submit it. Your line manager approves it. From there, it goes straight to admin. So what is that step-by-step sequence in which you're required to complete the tasks you're required to complete for an activity to be done? So a workflow is a step-by-step sequence of tasks required to complete an activity. That's what the workflow is. Now let's look at procedure. What is the meaning of a procedure? So the procedure defines how those tasks will be done. Why? To ensure that there's consistency. That's what procedure is. How those tasks will be done. Those specific tasks we are talking about, how should it be done? If you don't have a procedure, unit A, department A, they are doing another thing. Department B, they are doing different things. C, they are doing different things, which can cause chaos in the business. So the procedure defines how those specific tasks we are talking about, how should they be done in order to ensure consistency. Then the last thing we're going to look at now is a system. What is a system? It could be manual, it could be a manual system, it could be a digital system. For startup businesses, some of them are still using manual system. Why some are using digital system, depending on who they get their grants from and their startup capital from. So dependent. Even some organizations that have started at like 5 years, they are still using manual system. So what is a system? It is that which helps you to streamline and track your process efficiently. It is that which helps you. It helps you to streamline your processes and track your processes efficiently. It could be manual, it could be digital. I guess we're all on the same page now on what the process is. The process has to do with how you align your workflows, your procedures, and your systems to ensure you drive performance in your organizations. Please feel free to type into chat if you have any question, and I'll be glad to answer it. Now, a well-structured process ensures that employees know exactly what steps to follow to complete a task, that workflow flows smoothly without unnecessary bottlenecks, that employees can apply their training because the process supports their work, and last but not the least, that there is consistency in how tasks are completed across the system. So if your process is not like this, just know that your process is not well structured. as a business, as an organization, if your processes doesn't ensure that your employees know what steps to follow to complete a task, your employees work flow smoothly without unnecessary bottlenecks. Your employees can apply the training they've done because the process will support them, will support the work. That means you don't have a well structured process. If your process is not consistency in how your tasks are completed across teams, you have a problem already. Now we move ahead. Still on process. Why processes matter for training transfer? This is why we are talking. Why we are saying that processes are very key and it matters. And now we are going to look at the reason why it matters. Even if your employees are perfectly trained, a broken or inefficient process will prevent them from applying what they learned. No matter how perfectly trained are they trained in Harvard? Are they trained in Stanford? Are they trained in Lagos Business School? Are they trained in Ghana Business School? Whichever beautiful, well-planned place they've been trained. If your employees are trained perfectly and there's a broken or inefficient process, it will prevent them. It will stand as a bone in their throat. It will prevent them from applying what they've learned. That's why we said processes are very key. Now, organizations often assume, you agree with me? Please, if you agree with me, type in yes or no, please. If you don't agree with me, say, Sandra, I don't agree with you. Organizations often assume that poor performance is as a result of lack of skills or knowledge. True or false? Most times, organizations, and I'm checking the chat box. Thank you, Samson, for dropping that. Our YouTube link and our company website. Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Femi. You agree with me? Yeah. So most organizations, the first thing they say whenever there's poor performance, what do they say? They say the problem is lack of skills or knowledge. However, yet in reality, Emmanuel also says he agrees with me. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. In reality, process inefficiencies can be a major roadblock. Process inefficiency can be a major roadblock to poor performance, and you're going to see this night. I'm so glad that we're all here together and we're here till 8 p.m. I have a case study, a live case study to share this with you. Training cannot fix a bad process. Do you agree with me? Who agrees with me? Training cannot fix a bad process. If your workflows, if your procedures, if your systems are not driving performance, no matter the kind of training, it will not fix it. Thank you, Femi. Femi says she agrees. Also, thank you, Daniel. Daniel says he agrees. Oh, that means we are all together on this boat. So training cannot fix a bad process. Say it. Coach Sandra said it. The Oracle, the training transfer effectiveness advocate said it. It cannot fix a bad process. So please, organizations, go and fix your process first. Fix your process, then train your employees to optimize it. Come fix your process. After you fixed your process, then you train. You can now train your employees to optimize that process you fixed. You cannot expect employees to optimize a bad process, to apply their training in a bad process. It cannot work. It cannot work. Now, let us go straight into our case study, our activity for today. This is an organization. I changed the name so that nobody will know what I don't want to be sued. So nobody will know who the organization is. So this organization is called Global Logistics Limited. That's the name of the organization. And it is your company. Femi, it is your company. I'm going to use you are in that company. Femi, Daniel, and Emmanuel, you are all in that company. So your company, Global Logistics Limited, was experiencing severe delivery delays, leading to customer complaints and revenue loss. Now, what was the problem? This is the problem. The orders were packed and ready for dispatch, yet shipments were consistently delayed. Just follow this real example, this real case. Orders were packed and ready for dispatch, yet shipments were consistently delayed. Now, the warehouse workers followed the standard procedures. Even with following the standard procedures, yet delivery times remained very slow. And as a result of that, customers were canceling orders due to late deliveries. Customers were not getting their orders as a result of when they expected it. For instance, the company was telling them you will get it in 3 days time. Almost 1 week, they've not gotten it. 2 weeks, they've not gotten it. So because of that, customers were canceling their deliveries. Their orders as a result of late deliveries. Now, see what happened. Now, the senior leadership in the organization, they looked at it and they assumed that this thing that is happening, we cannot continue to lose revenue. Customers are complaining and we are losing so much revenue. They now decided and they assumed that, in short, this warehouse staff, I think what they need is efficiency training to speed up the operations. That was what they assumed that the warehouse staff needed. And this was what leadership finally came up with. They said,
okay, hold on.
They said that the warehouse team must need training on inventory management and speed optimization. That was what they decided. That was what they came up with. That what? The warehouse team must need training on inventory management and speed optimization. I'm going to stop sharing because we're going to take a poll now. Please, hope you have that case study. Do you need to snap it or you can still remember it? Let me go back. This is it. If you want, please just take a snapshot of it with your phone so you don't forget it. Just take a snapshot of it so you don't forget it. So I want to believe you've taken a snapshot of that. Now, let us go to our case study. So I'm going to let us go straight to our poll now. I'm going to stop sharing and go straight to poll. Let me stop sharing now. And we're going to take a poll. If I stop sharing, so let me let you know this is what we want to do. So we're going to take a poll right away on what would you do? What would you do? Let me ask the question first. Permit me to ask the question first before we take the poll. So this is the question. Look at it, please. That is the question. You are the HR or L&D manager. The operations manager approaches you with a request for training and is telling you that he wants a training on inventory management and speed optimization to fix the delay issue. You read the delay issue to fix it. Now you are the HR or L&D manager. What would you do? You are the HR and L&D manager. What would you do? Now let me stop sharing. Let's take our poll. What would you do? So I'm going to launch the poll now. I'm sure you can see the poll now. So what would you do?
Yes,
thank you very much, Samson. So please click. What would you do? You can tick as many as you can. You have multiple choice question. You can see it's called multiple choice question. What would you do? You're the HR manager or the L&D manager. What would you do? So I'm waiting for people to tick. What would you do? Are there people? Okay, I can see what you're ticking. Let me end the poll so you see. So everyone done, please. Ima, I can see it. Everyone is clicking B. Why? Okay, let me end poll and let's so you see. Maybe are you laughing? Or is it Emmanuel? You people have gotten Expo, right? Let me share the results. Emmanuel, you've gotten Expo, right? This is the result. Everyone says they will conduct a needs validation process to investigate the root cause of the delay. This is Expo. Now, please, any of you can unmute your microphone and speak. Daniel, Emmanuel, or Femi, because I know you are the ones that. Why would you do that? Let me stop sharing so that you'll be able to. You all said, no, I'm not going to stop sharing. Let's see. You all said you're going to do what? You're going to conduct a needs validation process. That's what you will do. Let me hear you. Unmute your microphone. What does that mean? Because a lot of people don't know what that means. So what does that mean? And sharing with us, our YouTube viewers will listen and learn from you. Who wants to go? What does that mean? Nobody wants
Okay,
to.
so let me
Huh?
let me take a go.
Okay, Daniel.
Now, I think you said much earlier that training cannot fix a bad process. And therefore, it is important for us to understand whether the process itself is suitable for the kind of thing that we want to do. Are there bottlenecks in the process that allow these delays to happen? So until we are able to understand what the process is, what the steps are, who is involved, and what has to be done or not done, it'll be difficult for us to say, okay, let's go do an inventory management training, and then that's another story. And I think you said, like I said it already, that if the process is bad, training cannot fix it. Thank you.
So, but what do you understand by the needs validation process? Because you ticked on that. You I'm sure you ticked that, Daniel, right? Daniel, your what's that word? Samson, please, can you give Daniel congratulations? You know, those things that you show that well done. He was just on point. But I still want to move him forward to ask him, why did you tick? What do you understand by the need validation process?
So I related that to a needs assessment test. So what exactly do the people in the organization or in that particular department need to be able to achieve the kind of thing that we want them to achieve? And to be able to identify those and address them, we'll do training, we'll come to the same thing, because they will end up doing the same things over and over and over again without and get the same result, which is not what we're looking for.
Wow, Daniel, where have you been since? I think we need you on our side so that you will join this train of advocating for training transfer effectiveness.
I guess joined the L&D today. Was it yesterday or today? Margaret notified me, and I just joined that yesterday or today.
Wow.
I didn't know about it before.
Wow. Welcome. Well done. And I think you need to watch our video so you can get. So the needs validation process is a process we design as an organization. I came up with that. Is our intellectual property. It's a process that helps you to find out, is it a training intervention, a non-training intervention, or an integration of both a training and non-training intervention. So we've spoken about that before, but well done, thumbs up. Is there any other person that want to speak? I love what Daniel just said. Femi or Ima?
This is Emmanuel.
Okay, let's hear from Emmanuel. Then Femi, we will not hear from Emmanuel. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Coach Sandra. Very privileged to contribute. And so, as an HR person, in fact, from last week's section, I made up my mind. That I wouldn't be in a position, or I'll position myself in such a way that I will always want to save costs for my company, and again, not place the HR department in a place where we are seen as cost consumers or cost creators. And so that perception, as a training transfer effectiveness advocate being trained, I am conscious of preserving the image of HR, that we just don't do just trainings. We want to justify what we need to train our people. So that's why I chose it. Thank you.
Wow, well done. I think we are doing something great. A lot of people are coming on the boat of training transfer effectiveness. We are going to get Africa on this. Welcome. Thank you so much, Ima. Thank you. Well done. Great contribution. Femi, over to you, please.
Okay, just to add to what both participants have shared. Part of what the information we have is that orders were packed and ready for dispatch. So there was no issue around what I would call inventory management. And then the workers followed the standard procedure. So like the case study said, there's an assumption that it is training that is required. But when you look at the problem, it does not speak to the training that is meant to be organized. So at the end of the day, you cannot just begin to do training. You have to validate, is it really training that these guys need? That was not done. An assumption was made. So at the end of the day, it's not about training. It's about drilling down to what is the root cause of, customers canceling orders, or why they were always delays in spite of the standard procedure being followed, and orders being ready and packed. So that's
Now
what
let
I
me put this catch, but it's the line manager. There is their line manager that came to HR and said he wants this training. What do you have to say to that? It's the line manager that came and said that he wants this training. What do you people have to say to that? It's the line
But we
manager
have
that
to
said he
check
wants the
indeed
training.
whether it is training, that is required, to fix the problem that the line manager is trying to solve. We need to validate that indeed it is training that is required.
Wow. Thank you so much. Let me continue to share my slide. This is very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now let's see. So you all got the right answer. you all got the right answer. You all got the right answer. But I'm sure you will agree with me that a lot of people would say that the issue is that the person, a lot of HR, that's what is happening now. They will go straight away to start to organize that training. True or false?
True, because the line manager has asked for it.
And is that what is happening in businesses now?
Yes, that's what is happening in business.
That's what is happening in businesses. Organization line manager says, I want this training. Straight up, you go ahead and start giving the line manager the training. It has to stop. And that's what we are saying. So we are advocating and saying this stops right away. We have to stop this right away. So let's move ahead. Let's see what happened. The real cause was a process bottleneck, just like all of you said. I totally agree with each and every one of you. It was a process bottleneck. The issue was not a lack of skills. It was a broken dispatch process. So what now happened? The HR now deep dive, just like what you all said, three of you said. The HR now decided to deep dive to find out what exactly was this issue. What exactly was the problem? This was what the HR found out. So a deep dive into the workflow revealed a major process inefficiency. You can imagine a major process inefficiency. So you can imagine if the HR did not deep dive, the HR did not pause. The HR the manager has said we should do training. That's what they usually say. It's manager that said we should do training, and so we have to do training. Who says that you have to do training because he says it's training? He came to you and says he wants inventory management and speed optimization training, and immediately you start looking for organizations that do such training straight up, without even finding out really is training really the issue. And that's what we have HR people doing and L&D people doing. They are doing it and they are still doing it. And we are saying this has to stop. Before you just jump in to say it is training, why don't you go into deep dive, just like what you said, Emmanuel, just as like what you said, Daniel, and just like what you said, Femi, deep dive what exactly the issue is. So this was what happened when and this is a live case study. When the HR deep dived into it, this was what they came up with. They found out that the dispatch order process required multiple manual packages, approvals before the packages leave. Okay, I'm sure. Okay, you're not seeing you see my slides now. So the order dispatch process required multiple manual approvals before packages could leave the warehouse. Can you imagine? Manual. What do you think will happen when you have it from this one want to approve, this one manual? You carry one paper to one place to another. It's not even digital. You cannot even digitalize it. By the time you keep carrying paper from one place to another, multiple manual approval. What do you think will happen to those packages? In Nigeria, we'll say you're on your own. OYO, you are on your own. The HR also found, and the L&D, they also found that the company was using outdated shipping tracking spreadsheets. And this outdated shipping tracking spreadsheet made the employees to start manually cross-checking inventory. So can you just look at this warehouse with all these packages? What do you think would happen? Manually, they would be cross-checking inventories before releasing orders. 1, 2, they will be moving from, no, this one is there. This is hell. What else did they find out again? They also found out that the delivery personnel, they had to wait for final clearance from head office, from headquarters before dispatching. Can you imagine that? They will have to wait for headquarters to give them final clearance before they dispatch, which added extra 48 hours to every shipment. My dear people, my dear HR and L&D people, the issue was not a training issue. If the HR or L&D had gone ahead and gone to train as the line manager was asking them to train, then there would have been serious consequences. The problem would have continued. The HR and L&D manager did not listen to the operation manager, who was asking for inventory management and speed optimization training. He did not listen to him. He or she said, no, let's do a deep dive and see what exactly the issue is. So this was a workflow issue and a system issue, not a training issue. Please feel free to ask questions. I see someone that joined us recently, Amma, welcome. Welcome for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So now we move ahead. So what is the right solution? What is the right solution? Let me ask before we move ahead. What do you think the right solution should be? I've already explained to you, so I've given you the deep dive. So let's go back. Let me show you the deep dive. So you tell me what, let's have this discussion. I won't give you the answer yet. Before I give you the answer, let's go back. So this was what the L&D person came up with when she did a deep dive and found out the real cause. The real cause was a process bottleneck. So these were the things she found out. Now, my question to you is, what would you say should be the right solution? What should be the process optimization? Please feel free. Try it before I show you. I tell you what the L&D, what they did. Who wants to go? Who wants to try? What would you say is the right solution, the process optimization? Who wants to try?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm thinking. That,
okay, don't worry. Let's have you, Femi, before Daniel. Okay.
There's a need to review the workflow and look for how to optimize the workflow. Basically, how to reduce the several approval layer. That's a major one, because I'm not sure if they can resolve the system issues within their control, but if they are able to look at opportunities of reducing the workflow, that would be a good place to start.
Thank you so much, Femi. Right on point. Daniel, you wanted to share.
All right. I get a sense that the different layers of approvals and all that is probably a means of making sure that there are controls over the flow and the movement of inventory. What I think therefore should be done is a review of the internal control system to simplify it, while at the same time ensuring that things are done properly, there's no leakage, revenues are flowing in, inventory are properly controlled and all that. There has to be a review of that process to make it more efficient, but also ensuring that there are no lapses in the controls. That's the way I see it.
Thank you so much, Daniel and Femi. You're right on point. Let me share with you people. So let me just move forward and just share with you people. Thank you so much. You're on point. So these were the things they did. These were their process optimization as a business. So that's what they did. So instead of sending their workers for more training, this was what the company did. The company fixed the dispatch workflow. And this was what they did. They automated their shipping approvals. By that, they eliminated the manual sign-up. I told there were multiple manual sign-ups that they had to sign off. They did what? They said, let's automate our shipment approvals. They did that. Again, they integrated an inventory tracking system, which allowed the warehouse staff to check the stock availability instantly instead of waiting for approval from the headquarters. They did that. They also did what they did, streamlined the dispatch protocols again. They gave local managers the authority to approve shipments instead of waiting for headquarters. So these were things they did. They automated the shipment approvals. They integrated an inventory tracking system, and this system allowed the warehouse staff to check stock availability instantly, just like something Daniel was just talking about. With that, they were able to check what are the stocks we have available instantly. With that, we know what stock we don't have at every point in time. We know our reorder level to know when to order. They put that in place. And this was the result they got. You can see that this is beautiful. It's beautiful to just know the right things to do at first. This was the result the organization got. The shipment delays were reduced by 60%. Can you beat that? Their order fulfillment speed doubled, improving their customer satisfaction. All because they did their needs validation process. The company saved millions in lost revenue, all without additional training. You can imagine what would have happened if they had just gone for training. So this was what the company was able to achieve as a result of the right process optimization. This was what they were able to achieve. Please, let's give it up for this company. At least they tried. Let's give it up to the L&D person. Please use your emoticons and give it up to the L&D person that is in that organization. The L&D person really stood and said, no, we have to get this right. We have to get this right. The process failures that block training impact. I said training alone won't fix performance if the process is broken. Training alone will not fix performance if the process is broken. And for that, so these are signs that a process that is a problem, not training. When you see the signs, just know that the process is a problem, not training. When employees keep making the same mistakes even after attending repeated training, when the tasks employees are supposed to do, they take longer than necessary due to excessive steps, approvals, or outdated workflows. When you start seeing those things, just know that those are what I call red flags, that this is not a training issue. This is a process issue. When employees know what to do, just like what Femi said, they know what to do, but they can't perform efficiently because of inefficiencies of their system. When there's inconsistent performance across teams because there's no standardized process. When you see all these things, just know that it is a red flag telling you that, man, this is not training. This is process. This is not training. This is process. So what's our key takeaway from this? Our key takeaway is that if employees struggle despite training, the issue isn't, if employees struggle despite training, the issue then isn't a knowledge or skill gaps. It may just be a process failure. So take note of that. And while we start wrapping up, we are wrapping up by saying how we are going to look at how broken processes block performance. When you have a broken process, just like what we saw here, how do they block performance? These are how they block performance. So when processes fail, even the best employees struggle. And we've all agreed with that at the beginning, that when processes fail, even the best employees struggle. So a broken process doesn't just block training, it blocks performance. It blocks performance. So these are the key ways broken processes hurt performance. One is too many approvals. We've talked about that. Delays to decision making because of too many approvals. It slows down operations. Unclear steps. Employees, they waste time guessing, what do we do? What should we do here? Leading to errors. Outdated system, we saw what happened. And as a result of this outdated system, it slows down the work. There's frustration in the work. There's the work is slow. The manual processes. So outdated system could also mean manual processes. And so it will cause frustration and efficiency. And inefficiency, I beg your pardon. Then no standardization. Team A is doing what they want in the same task. Team B is doing a different thing in the same task. And what does that happen? It causes inconsistency in the system. So what are our key takeaways when it comes to broken processes that block performance? Our key message I'm saying to you people, and we're all agreeing, is even the best training cannot compensate for a broken process. So therefore, improve your performance. To improve your performance, organizations must streamline their workflows. They must reduce bottlenecks, and they must align systems with their business goals. And on this note, what are your key takeaways? What are your key takeaways from this activity? Please drop into chat. What are your key takeaways? Or I can have just one person, because I want to give time for questions. One person to maybe to share with us your key takeaways from the activity. The others can drop into chat. Is there anybody that wants to share? What are your key takeaways from this activity we just did now? Okay. If there's nobody that wants to share,
cannot fix a broken process.
take that again, Femi. Let's hear that again.
Training cannot fix a broken process.
Yes, so training cannot fix a broken process. Thank you so much, Femi. Any other person? Okay. If there's no other person, these are the key takeaways for us from the activity.
No, my key takeaway is that don't just rush into training, assuming that is what the need is. Do an evaluation of the processes themselves. Check if there are any bottlenecks. Deal with those issues before finally determining whether indeed training is the need that is that organization needs.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniel. And so that's why we said one of our key takeaways is the MVP, the needs validation process. It is our trademark. It is designed by us, by M-Brand Consulting Limited. It comes first. And what does it say? Diagnose the real issue. Is the issue a training intervention, or is it a non-training intervention, meaning that it might be a process thing, or what? Or is it an integration of both? Diagnose the real issue first. Never assume a solution before validation. This is what Daniel just said, and which is what Femi said too. Never assume a solution before validation. This was purely a process issue, not a knowledge or skills gap. So you can imagine if they had sent the warehouse staff for training, nothing would have changed, because the process itself was blocking their efficiency, not training. If the issue is process inefficiency, then we can implement automation or any other fixes, just like we saw that this company did. Last but not the least, aligning workflows, procedures, and systems is critical before assuming training is the solution. And on this note, this brings us to the end of our webinar today. And I end by saying, a broken process will always break performance. I'll take that again. A broken process will always break performance. No amount of training can fix inefficiencies. Only streamlined workflows, clear procedures, and the right systems can. And this is a quote by myself, Sandra the Oracle, known as a training transfer effectiveness advocate. I'm coming to you, Emmanuel. What is your next line of action now? Emmanuel, I can see your hands up. What's your next line of action? Emmanuel, please unmute your microphone. Thank you so much.
Sandra, I have a question.
Please. So let me take it to the question part. Others are thinking of their next line of action. Let me take it to the question. So what are your questions? Okay, please, Emmanuel, what's your question, please? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandra. So I hope my background is okay.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. So as an L&D consultant, currently, as I'm speaking to you right now, I have got to train a company, an organization. And because I understand
please say that again.
Again, I work. What
okay,
to do?
please.
I mean, I have a contract. So
okay.
I asked them what problem they are trying to solve, and they said, as you told us last week, they just told me that they are just following. They have to train first quarter. They just have to train. So honestly, I've accepted to train, and they've given me already administrators in HR. They've even added more people who have sent my invoice. I've tried to diagnose the problem, but they said no, and they've given me areas of time I think they are okay. And so I want to find out. My question is that, do we always have to accept it and say, oh, because there's no need for your training, there is no need validation for what you want to do? Do I just sign it off because now I'm really going to becoming an advocate for training transfer effectiveness. And so that's why I'm asking this.
Thank you so much for your question, Emmanuel. And I'm going to recap your question so that, because your line wasn't clear, so that even those that be watching the video, the YouTube video, the recording it will help them. Emmanuel is asking, he has a contract, a brief from an organization to train the staff. And from what he had learned from the webinars that he has joined us, Emmanuel just joined us for the first time last week. And I'm so proud of Emmanuel. Emmanuel has watched all the videos on YouTube. And I'm proud to say that Emmanuel, I'm going to announce it here. Emmanuel is our advocate for training transfer effectiveness in Ghana. We have appointed him as, we've not met Emmanuel. We've not met Emmanuel. It was just how proactive and how it was just, we're like, myself and Sam say, what kind of man is this? Why is he so interested in this? He has watched the whole video. Now, Emmanuel's question is, they gave him a brief and he told them what exactly is the problem you want to solve, just like what he had watched and what he had listened to. They told him, we need to train in first quarter. We've given you the areas we want you to train. Just come and train. First quarter, we must train in first quarter. He's now said, and he has sent his invoice. They've even added and given him more people. Now, what should he do? Is it that he should turn down this thing because they did not tell him what the problem is? They just told him, come and train. We need to train for first quarter. What? Emmanuel, I'm going to be very real to you, because a lot of L&D consultants, trainers are facing what you've said. I'm going to be very real with you and tell you the truth. Once upon a time, Emmanuel, I was in your shoes. Yes. I had to pay bills. I had children and I had to pay bills. Emmanuel, I'm saying this because I'm just trying to be very vulnerable and be very sincere. They said they want to train. You want to meet your first quarter, because there's some organizations, every quarter they train. If they don't meet their first quarter quota, and when they are drawing up their training budget for the next year, management would slash down and say, oh, that means you don't need the money now. First quarter, you were supposed to have trained with how many millions? You did not. They will cut it. So what L&Ds do is that first quarter, please, we must meet up with our train, and they give out. So once upon a time, I didn't think about what their needs are, doing needs validation and all those. I mean, I had an idea of what it was as a result of research. I've been researching about this since 2010. But I had bills to pay. I had children to feed. I had bills. I closed my eyes and I said, they want to train first quarter, no problem. I will train them. And I trained them very well. And they will call me back. Now, I have passed that stage. I'm in a stage whereby if you don't want to see an impact, if you don't want to see a return on expectation and a return on investment for your training initiatives, do not come to me. I will not train you. So that is the level I am in. And so what I'm saying to trainers, L&D consultants and trainers, if you've gotten to the stage where I am and even past me, can we start doing the right things? Why we pray and help the younger ones to grow up to where we were? Because once upon a time, I did it. These are real things. You have bills to pay. But we that have gotten to that stage and we know what it is and we can now stand for it, can we start advocating so that we can also help the younger ones to grow? So that is what I've shared my experience with you, Emmanuel. The choice is yours to decide. I don't know if you're in the stage whereby, man, I need to pay bills and I have to do that. However, I see that you have the heart for training transfer effectiveness. That's why you collaborate with people like us. And by the time we show you the way we've walked, we help you, and you don't go through the same thing we went through. So that's the essence I talk about collaborations. When you collaborate with people that have passed the way you're trying to pass, they will help you and hold you. You don't need to follow that way. So that I did it doesn't mean you need to follow me. Because I've passed it, we can work together, collaborations, partners, and no. We stick to it. This is what you do. Then there are other ways we can help you to ensure that you pay those bills while we still stick to the song we're advocating for, which is training transfer effectiveness. I hope this helps you, Emmanuel.
Yes, please. I think you are really coaching me. Yeah, that's how I feel now. It's a real coaching by an experienced person. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. So do you have any other questions? Because we are wrapping up already. We have it's almost 8 p.m. Any other questions? Okay, if as I wait for you to share your questions, every week we will always announce this because it is our conference. And Emmanuel is one of our advocates in Ghana. So it's called the International Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference. It's holding live and direct in Lagos, Nigeria, November 13 and 14, 2025 in the Lagos Oriental Hotel. It is a conference that has never happened in Nigeria. It has never happened in Africa. It has never happened in any part of the world. Go and check. Nowhere. It is a global premier conference on training transfer effectiveness. It has never happened anywhere. And so these are our speakers that will be coming. Our speakers, we have over 22 speakers from across the globe. So these are some of them. We're going to be, We're going to be announcing the remaining as we finalize with them. So we have our keynote speaker is her name is Melanie Martinelli. She's coming all the way from Switzerland. She's the CEO of the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness. We also have Tom Meyer. He's the director of the Center for Accelerated Learning. He's coming all the way from Chicago. We also have Anna Langeta coming all the way from Germany. So these, and also have our Nigerian-based people. We have Tolu Oke, all of them, Emmanuel Adejoke. So these are great industry experts. You don't want to miss this training. Are you coming in from outside Nigeria? Reach out to us. Go to our website. Even our number and email is there. We would help you to plan. Is it your visas? Is it your hotels you need to stay in? Do not worry. You're rest assured that everything is being planned for you. It's a conference not to miss. If you miss any other conference in this year, don't miss the International Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference. And these are the side attractions. So it's going to be a 2-day hands-on conference with industry experts across the globe, expert-led sessions, networking opportunities, coffees, breaks and meals, and book unveiling. We're going to be unveiling our book, From Training to Transformation. And we're going to be giving you exclusive discounts on international certifications only for our iTech attendees. We have the Certified Transfer Designer. Is a certification by the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness, which I'm the transfer enabler for Africa, which I'm also the first certified transfer designer for Nigeria. We're going to be giving you a discounted price. Go online and check how much it is. Just go to their website and check how much it is. But for everyone that signs on, that is an attendee for the iTech conference, you're getting a huge discount. The Kirkpatrick Bronze Certification Program by the Kirkpatrick Partners, which has to do with evaluation. I'm also a certified Kirkpatrick Bronze person. So we are giving you a huge discount. Go to their website, check how much it is. In the thousands of dollars, we are giving you a huge discount. Accelerated Learning Certification Workshop by the Center for Accelerated Learning. Go onto their website too. It's in thousands of dollars too. We are giving you a huge discount because you're coming on iTech conference. Then the IFCLPI TMA Trainer Certification by the International Finance Corporation and by the Learning Performance Institute. It is in dollars too. But because you're coming on this conference, you're also getting a discount. So do not miss this opportunity. So many certifications. So that means you can get 4 certifications as a result of just one training you come for. 4. Yeah. And if you want a combo, we'll give you a combo. So it's going to be wonderful. So do not miss it. Spread the news. Let's start spreading that news about the conference. Once again, what is your call to action? Please type it into chat. What is your call to action? What do you intend doing after you've listened to this? We've looked at the second critical organizational factor that drives performance, which is the process. On this note, I want to say old ways won't open new doors. No, old ways won't open new doors. Success doesn't come cheap. It comes with hard work. Are you willing to pay the price for success? The choice is yours now. What will it be? And on this note, finally, I want to say, be happy and feel good about yourself always. Thank you once again, and I remain Coach Sandra Iheanacho, aka the Oracle, the Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. That's my number. That's my LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn. I've been doing a series on the Training Transfer Effectiveness since last year, September. Go and read all my, even my white papers I've come up with. This is my IG, this is my X, and that's my email. So I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you very much, everyone. And I just want to say, have a beautiful night rest. If there are no questions, thank you for joining our webinar. It's always wonderful to have you in our webinar. And next week, Thursday, please spread the news. We are training transfer effectiveness advocates. Spread the news and let's carry this train. Let's move the train. Do not miss the train. So have a good night rest, everyone, and have a beautiful week. Thank you. Bye.